The top 15 players are returning from injury. I didn't know what else to call this segment. Pretty much everyone in my list missed a significant amount of time or the entire 2024 season. The only guy that's not in this because he did play as a DH was Shohei Ohtani. So Shohei Ohtani's not in this list. We get it. He's going to be an amazing pitcher when he comes back. It doesn't count because they've had his body on the field. We have three categories. Guys who've been hurt for more than just 1 year. This wasn't a one-off thing. They're hurt a lot. It's you guys got to put up, you got to find a way to show that you're valuable, or like you're probably not going to get very many other options, and we might be on the back end of your career. Take a crap or get off the pot situation, in the words of my father, Ron. Okay. Then we have a couple of honorable mentions that just missed the top 15, and then we have our top 15. The criteria that I used to make a lot of these decisions were value that you add to your how bad does your team need you, like in an MVP way. So this isn't who are the best players in order? Like, that's easy to do. I wanted to factor more in how much better is your team going to be when you get there. First things first, these players, they must perform. Anthony Rendon's also not in this list anymore because I think we're beyond him, including him in this list. He's been kind of pushed out to the side for me. He's not in the list for the same reason I'm not in the list, because I'm not a player. These players must perform. We have, Dusty May. He has hurt a whole lot. He has not thrown near as many innings as you can imagine. He was coming back off of his, I believe, Tommy John surgery, then had a torn esophagus. I have no idea. We've heard a lot about him. It's been about 4 years at this point. It's time for him to come back and throw meaningful innings for the Dodgers. It'll be interesting to see if he gets any starts or if he's a piggyback situation, but they have the opportunity. Someone in chat, Cool Dude, said, oh my God, I forgot about him. Geez. Exactly. Next. Chris Bryant. Now, I know a lot of people go to Colorado to die. Cal Kendrick disappeared when he went there. Wade Davis's career went like a lot of Jake McGee. Like, it's a tough place to play, and I totally understand it. But Chris Bryant, it's been a couple years now. First of all, got to stay on the field, and second of all, you got to put up a little bit. I'm not asking for a 30-100 season here. I'm asking for 20, 22 homers, playing 130 games, and give the people what they want. All right, next up. Lucas Giolito, again, almost Cy Young campaign, I believe it was in 19, and hasn't put up the same type of numbers there. He's been fine. He's been okay. But the Red Sox went and got him, got Tommy John. They're going to need this guy to be successful this year, or it'll be interesting to see where Lucas Giolito goes after the Red Sox if this doesn't work out. So I would anticipate him being back sooner than later. Trevor Story, another Boston Red Sox, has not panned out. We need him to stay healthy and play shortstop because we're already struggling to figure out where everyone else is going to go.
How would you react if they asked you to DH?
No.
Again, this be hesitant about Rockies players vibes to me, but at the end of the day, it's just staying on the field. If these guys get any sort of form back, they're going to be good. So it's just question marks. I'm hopeful that they all play well, because if they all play well, that's a good Red Sox team, and that's a really interesting division, even more interesting than it was last year. All right? Lance McCullers. Where the f*** has Lance McCullers been? Hurt. Now, I've had my own share of injuries, so injuries happen. But at some point, being on the field is more valuable than being off the field, no matter how bad being on the field was. He can help that staff quite a bit. No JV. They're going to be leaning on freaking Framber and Hunter a lot. So getting another veteran guy to go throw 75 curveballs in a row is important for them moving forward. And the last one on this list, Tony Gonsolin, another guy who's thrown like 200 innings in his 8-year career. I actually don't know how long it is. I'm embellishing here, but again, just not a lot of innings. He's hurt a lot, him and Dustin May. If they combine into one starting pitcher in innings this year, if they throw 160 combined innings, I would take that as a W. If they're a little bit on the hot seat, all right? Our next category. Here's the honorable mentions before we get in our top 15. It's a couple of relievers have either missed some time or underperformed a little bit and missed some time, gone through a lot of stuff, but they have a track record of being gamers. So these two dudes are just intense as hell too. So I just think that they are likely to come back strong as opposed to going the Ken Giles route. Jordan Romano, he just misses the top 15 for me, but I think he is going to add some value. I think last year was a little bit of an aberration. He missed a lot of time. Sometimes that happens. You struggle, you have an injury, and then you just can't get past it. It was one thing after another with him. He had some setbacks, but if he is, 96, 97 with that slider, he's got the chops to end the game if you need him to. And I think that he is going to be a solid pickup. Another honorable mention, Liam Hendriks. Liam Hendriks, who has had elbow surgery back to back with a cancer diagnosis in which he, thank God, beat. Little round of applause. We haven't done this on the show at all, but congratulations to Liam, a person I know personally. I played with him with the Twins for a bit, played in AAA with him. He's a very, very good person, and he's a very, very hard worker, and it doesn't surprise me one bit that he beat cancer as quickly as he did. But what happens is your tendons and stuff get weaker, and then you get surgery, like you hurt yourself, and he's just a guy who can't really take his foot off the gas. It's just really hard for him to do. But I am confident that towards the end of last year, he was feeling much better. He's had a full off season to heal up. I would anticipate him being a valuable arm in the back end for the Boston Red Sox. Those are my honorable mentions. But let's get into ye old list, all right? Number 15 on my list. Yo, my voice today. Whoa. Jung-Ho Lee missed most of 2024 with a shoulder injury, I believe, shoulder surgery. He was one of their touted free agency signs out of South Korea last year. Great bat to ball skills, runs like a deer, plays center field, like really, really athletic. They were missing the speed and they were missing the on base percentage last year. They really, really were. I mean, Lawant Wade is really good at getting on, not as fast as this man. I think that he's kind of gone under the radar a little bit. I think he's going to be big for the Giants, and he is projected to be ready for opening day. More or less. By the way, a lot of these things might be a little bit like when we're expect them to come back can be a little bit up in the air. Please take that into consideration and don't yell at me or yell at me. Just make sure you do it in the comments. Okay, thank you. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up this thing. Appreciate it. Number 14 on my list, Josh Young. I always call him Josh Young. Josh Young, Mr. One Batting Glove himself. The Texas Rangers need him back in their lineup. He had a great rookie year. Last year was mired by injuries. There's another guy on this list from that same team, so you can guess who that is. That combined with some injuries out of Corey Seager and not really putting up the way he did before, and Semien having more of an average year, the Texas Rangers are due for being on the up and up, and he is going to be a big reason that they come back. Number 13, Max Scherzer, who signed with the Toronto Blue Jays for 1 year, $15.5 million a couple weeks ago. In my opinion, going to bring some value to that team. But I think that it's going to be about 50-50 value with his veteran presence and his competitiveness and how that rubs off with other guys and wanting to win games and his ability on the field. He has diminished. It has happened. He's in his 40s. You know, I would never say that to his face because he's terrifying. But his mind when it comes to pitching is, I think, unparalleled. The things he's willing to do to become a better pitcher and the way he's willing to change how he pitches is also unmatched. I think that he'll be a thumber if he needs to be a thumber. He'll turn into Jamie Moyer if that means he goes out and wins games. And I think when he goes north of the border, they're going to get a good one. And also he is relinking with Chris Bassett, his son, which is a great pickup for them. He is also lined up for opening day, as is Josh Young. What is your prediction on his ERA? My guess is a mid-3. It's about innings. He's going to throw a sub-4. It's just the way he is. He won't let himself go pitch hurt for too long. If he throws 140 innings with a mid-3, they're going to be in a good spot. Number 12. Shane Justin Bieber back with the Cleveland Guardians. No matter what, he could be throwing 89 and his slider is not hittable. He is disgusting and it never stops. And it throws me, it's disgusting. And he is expected to be back in May. It's the Cleveland Guardians, guys. Oh, you pitch for the Cleveland Guardians? Okay, so you're going to pitch good. It's that simple. He's got a Cy Young, so let's be excited about that guy. Number 11 on my list, Brandon Woodruff, another guy who almost was in the you got to pitch, bro. But I think that his value for his team is a little bit more than those other guys because they don't ever sign anybody. And he is very good when he is healthy. I believe I just saw minimum 500 innings of best ERA in the last 5 years is Brandon Woodruff. They need him. Brandon Woodruff needs to go, and he needs to throw 150 innings for them. No more Corbin Burns. They're going to be asking Freddie Peralta for a lot. They really need this man to step up and just just take the ball. Now for the final 10, let's hit these up. All right, number 10, Evan Carter, Texas Rangers. You guys remember this guy? Remember how good he was his rookie year in 2023? Kid's a freak. He's fast as kid alive. He missed most of last year, an injury that I can't remember, and he's going to be good. You don't want your young talent to be hurt all the time. You can't lean on Seager and Semien forever. You need other guys to step up. If this guy stays healthy, Adolis makes a little bit of a comeback with his pop. Evan Carter returning could be huge for the Texas Rangers. I think this team is due to come in kind of hot, possibly win the division because we know that the Astros have done very little and the Mariners did less somehow. Next, Number 9, Matthew Vivian Brash, best slider in the major leagues. If he comes back any sort of semblance of his old self, which he's young, he is going to be huge for them. And I think that a guy who is not healthy right now, but Troy Taylor, if he's healthy as well, that's a pretty good 7, 8, 9. He's ridiculous. I've talked a lot about Matt Brash. He's one of my favorite relievers to watch pitch. Number 8, huge value for this team. That's Felix Bautista. You know, you're probably like, hey, Bautista probably needs to be higher on this list. At the end of the day, he's a closer and he's a reliever. Relievers can only be so high on this list. You're going to be really surprised. There's no relievers in the top 5. So this is really high for a reliever. For a reliever to even be on this list is pretty crazy. But he is one of the best closers in the league. He is unhittable when he's healthy, but we will see how he bounces back. There's a bunch of things he does that are notoriously hard on your elbow. You just got to be patient, right? But he's a freak. And he throws a billion, and he's got a splitter from hell. So expect him to be a big deal when he does eventually join. They are projecting opening day to be his when he's healthy and ready to go. Next up on this list, Matt McClain. Now, a lot of you may remember this, 2023. He was actually in conversations, top 10 for the MVP. He is a pure hitter. A quality player for the Cincinnati Reds, another young dude, but this guy can swing it. And him attached to Deli De La Cruz. And the amount of talent this team has is disgusting, and I just want to see them be good, like be really good, be a team to beat. And he's a big part of why they will be that way this year, because without him last year, we saw where their holes were, and it was a big, exactly shaped Matt McClain hole. Number 6. Kodai Senga. Now, he made 2 starts last year. He missed the whole beginning of the season, came back, and then popped his calf his first start back after throwing a shutty, and then tried to pitch in the playoffs. Understandably struggled and was rusty and could not throw strikes. The Mets need a true ace in Kodai Senga in order to really, really benefit from all of the additions they've added this year to help out that a little bit sparse bullpen, in my opinion, at the moment. They need him to go be the ace and let Manaea and these guys just be quality starters like they had last year and just win a lot of quality games because they're going to have a good offense. Hopping into the top 5 on our list of the top guys returning from injury. Number 5, Michael Trout. Mike Trout, Mr. Fishman. He's still Mike Trout. When he plays well. I'm hoping we get a return to form for Mike Trout, a second wind, if you will. Many players have done this. Like, look at Carlos Beltran. He had this period of time in the middle of his career, 3 or 4 years, where he just could not, stay on the field for a while. And then he got something figured out and he stayed out there. Justin Verlander actually had one of these problems with his hips. Remember, he struggled for a couple of years, went and figured it out, came back, and then he's been nails ever since. I hope we get one of these things for Mike Trout. He is a generational player. And I want him back in the conversation of the best players in the major leagues, because when he plays, he's so good. Over under 30 homers. If he's healthy, he's going to hit 30 easy. Remember when he hit he was leading the league by 6 at some point last year? He had 16 in 35 games or something. If he plays under 30 games, it's going to be 30 easy. I want to see him for the whole year. Number 5, Mike Trout. Number 4, Spencer Strider. This man is being slated for May, June. That was kind of where my edge was, with his continued evolution as a pitcher, obviously. Perennial conversation for Cy Young. Add him to Chris Sale, and now the Braves are scary once again. He's one of the best starting pitchers out there, one of the most dynamic guys to watch. Punches tickets out the frame. He punched 280 one year. So the Braves really need him to come back to be strong. Quadzilla is my number 4. The final 3. Sandy Alcantara, number 3. How many starting pitchers of this team get hurt? Braxton Garrett got hurt again. So they have nobody. This guy won a Cy Young. He is absolutely electric. They need Sandy Alcantara to come back. The Marlins need him so bad because at least you can count on that day. And also, guy slipped through the honorable mentions. I don't know why. He was in the thing. Yuri Perez, he is the carbon copy of him. He's also coming back, but he's a rookie. You don't know. You don't really know what you get with that. So I kind of just left him off the list, but he was supposed to be on it. So Yuri Perez honor mentioned as well. But Sandy Alcantara coming back, and he is scheduled for April. But again, he is, I think, 16 or 17 months out of surgery with Bautista. Number 2, it's Shane McClanahan. You guys remember Shane McClanahan? The AL East needs another guy, another ace. He is the game 1 starter for that team. They don't have Glass now. They don't have Snell anymore. Shane McClanahan. Jeffrey Springs is gone. Drew Rasmussen's been hurt a lot. So good pitching, but great pitching when they have this man. So I'm excited to see Shane McClanahan get back out there, get some W's, and watch him throw 98. Pass dudes, left-handed. In beautiful Steinbrenner Stadium, which is actually better for pitchers than Tropicana was, in my opinion, though it is sweaty. That takes us to our final Our number 1 overall player returning is Ronald Acuna Jr. They're shooting for early May. My guess would be mid-May. They get him, Strider back, add them back to the crew. The Braves are scary again. The Braves are scary. Would not be surprised if they're like, hey, by the way, guys, we're here again. The Braves, Mets, and Phillies are going to be good, and it's going to be a lot of fun.